Holy shit.
By the way, I have one thing I actually did want to bring up. This is the one thing I sort of made a mental note of, Gio, because I want to see if you guys have a different take from me. So I was watching, I wasn't really, I'll just say, I saw the result. I saw the result of the Esports Awards, and very interesting, because did you see Team of the Year was Loud from Valorant? And I remember the first thing I thought was, look, I get it in the sense that if you don't know, I was even on those panels in the past. If you win like TI in Dota, I've heard the panel members, they even tell you like you'll be a contender for that category, no matter even if you did nothing the rest of the year. Same in League of Legends. If you win the League of Legends World Championship, you don't even have to win a split or just win that and they'll put you in the category, because to them it's such a massive tournament, right? Is the reason why Loud was the winner of Team of the Year just because they won champions? Because here's what I don't get. Logically, didn't Optic actually have a better set of performances over the whole VC? In Valorant, they were better. Like, they were, what, second, third, and first?
I mean,
Loud had, what, a second and a first? Like, that's it?
It's obviously so hard to judge, because, like, what actually, you know, there probably aren't, like, strict. You just said you're on the panel, right?
It, exactly, yes.
But it's like, yeah, well, Optic had, like, you know, really good results. The story of Loud is obviously not only did they kind of, like, they come from essentially a lesser region, they've won, like, the World Championships, but a lot of the story throughout the year was that they were rivaling with Optic. So they were in this, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Grand finals with Optic, like earlier on in the year, and they lost to them, and then they've like come back. So I think I would assume that the story like adds on to that fact.
Would you have picked them for Team of the Year? Were they your best Valorant team?
I voted for them for Team of the Year. Okay. But also like I'm biased to vote for what's happening in Valorant anyway.
No, I just meant out of Valorant, because obviously you're a massive Optic fan. You could have picked Optic instead if you thought, right?
Yeah, I actually think that my top 2 teams of the year in Valorant would have been Loud and FPX.
Over Optic, they came first, second, and third at the lands.
Yeah,
why have you changed course on them all of a sudden? What?
No. I love as a team. I love Optic, but the reason I would have picked FPX is also because I really loved the story of
so
FPX.
We're not going off pure accomplishments here, right?
No. Again, like I don't know if that is or isn't a good way. You know, in terms of like the best way of judging the team of the year, is the team of the year supposed to be the most accomplished? In which case, yeah, probably Optic. But in terms of team of the year, like everything that team has done in that year, like for me, I think that the story of what FPX did and what happened with them, and the fact that they had this huge setback and they came back, blah, 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 blah. Like that, I think was, you know, that's like a Netflix show team, right?
Oh, yes,
and like
of course,
for me, that feels, when you're voting for like team of the year or like player of the year or whatever, like it's shit like that like gets me going. So that's kind of how I look at that, but I can see the argument.
I just wondered, what do you think, Minnie? What if, like, and this one, first of all, how would you decide your team of the year? Do you take narratives in? Is it just how good you are at the game? Who would you have had as your team of the year?
I think that's a difficult one, because obviously these awards are a little bit like, you know, they're iffy to begin with.
They are. By the way, spoiler, they are in the sense that, like, it's not even the fault of the people who vote. It's actually who decides. Because if you don't know, the way the awards work for real, like we're saying, it's not like it was the Valorant team of the year. It's all games. So what happens is, like, the joke is, like Gio said, she could be, say Gio's on the panel, then what happens is she sits there, and then when someone goes team of the year, like maybe for Valorant, they ask her because she's an expert. But the joke is, if it was like CSGO game she doesn't watch, then me or Richard Lewis has to go like, right, Gio, this is why I think this team should or shouldn't be. And the joke is, it's like a court of law. It's just if the lawyer just does an awesome speech, like if Richard Lewis does an amazing speech, maybe Gio chooses to pick like FaZe Clan from CSGO instead, even though she didn't watch the game. So in that scenario, is it Gio's fault she voted for a game she didn't watch? That's actually her position on the panel. So don't worry, by the way. You don't have to worry about going like, I disagree with their votes. Like, the joke is half the panel would disagree. It's kind of a weird setup. So what would your take be individually? If this was the mini team of the year for 2022, who would it be?
Loud, fine. In Valorant, fine, probably. I don't know outside of, I think there was probably teams outside of Valorant, probably.
Look, basically, I just wondered, like, specifically in Valorant, because I just thought, did no one else think the same thing? So essentially, Optic just had to win champions.
What Optic one of the nominees? I'm trying to remember.
Must have been, surely,
it was a while ago that I even
Optic,
like.
Optic and Loud, like they're the one.
I think they were the two as far as I know.
For performance based, like they're the 1 and 2. Like the tournament that Loud crashed out of was a tournament where they played Crew, who notoriously would always beat them, and then
that's their rival,
Optic.
right? Sure.
They played Optic in the group stage, so it's like, you know, tough luck kind of vibe. But yeah, I think the story, like, I'll give you this one for free. Like, Sassy was potentially joining us last year. Like, I had a call with Sassy at the start of 2022.
Yeah.
2022. Yeah, we had a server role we needed. Sassy was a free agent somehow, and basically we had a call with him. The call went really well. Like, he was definitely considering it, but he basically was like, I got a life here, I got family here, and I'm going to try and win a championship from Brazil. And I was almost like, okay, good luck with that kind of vibe.
Well, the good news is he's definitely changed his mind on that, Mini.
And now you get to play him in your first game of the new season.
Oh, and then he goes ahead and wins a championship, and then he plays me in the first game, yeah. But no, like, so I'm kind of proud of him to a degree. Like, him in Sadhack really kind of just, like, out of nowhere made this team really good. Like, I heard the coach is pretty good too. I don't know him too well, but so I got kind of a respect for them. Optic were always going to do well with the way that they kind of structured their team and kind of the experiences they've got. I think the FPX thing, like, I agree, like, completely, like I said, we have some problems this year. Like, FPX clearly had some problems. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of super impressed. Like, the way Angel and the coach dealt with that must have been incredible. Like,
all I'll say is they were the team where when I would ask some of my CSGO players turned Valorant friends, like before the VCTs, like who should do it, they always said like FPX, like in the practice is easily the best European team. That's what they told me.
You just have such a unique way.
Might be full of shit. Might be full of shit. I don't know, but that's what they were telling me. No. We were mega hyped for that way.
We don't practice them very much. I don't know, like, practice-wise, like, how good they were. Obviously, online, we were kind of, like, a little bit on top at times. So, like,
fair enough.
We got to LAN and kind of lost to them. It was a bit disappointing. But, no, clearly, like, they're just a really good team. Like, if they can go, like, with a substitute for an event, for half the event be with a sub, and then their actual player comes in and they win an event, like, that's kind of incredible. Like,
Yes.
We saw how shit we were with 2 subs. So, like, respect.
See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, be a pleb and don't.